Hey, what is up guys, it's Rob. Hope you're doing really good out there. Today's video is sponsored by DistroKid and their awesome Teams feature, which I'm going to talk more about later. So one of the most common questions I get asked here on my YouTube channel is if I have tabs for some of my covers or pieces of music, things that I've made. And the answer, I'm really sorry to say, is that I don't have any tabs because I honestly never use them. As a guitar player, as a musician, I never use tabs. Pretty much every single piece of music here on my YouTube channel, even my covers, well, especially my covers, I've figured out all of it by ear, which is something that I've done pretty much my entire guitar playing life. So if I listen to a piece of music and I want to replicate that and I want to make my own version of it, I will figure it all out by ear. I'm talking the guitars, the bass, the drums, any background music, any background instruments like synths or orchestrations, things like that. I will listen to the track to death and I'll try and pick out little parts and I will try and make the whole thing myself just by listening to it. So I don't actually end up with any tabs because I don't use any. So that's what today's video is all about. I've wanted to make this video for quite a while now because I genuinely think your ear is one of the most important things that you've got at your disposal, your most important tool. Whatever visual aid you've got is great, you know, sheet music, tabs, anything like that. If you can read sheet music, that is all great stuff. But I genuinely think your ear is the best thing that you've got. To give a quick example, I remember one time I was playing live in my band. We played weddings and functions and things like that, and we were playing quite a large wedding, if I remember rightly. And there was a big stage, big audience, and everything was going great. And normally we play the same set week in, week out, so I'm pretty comfortable on stage. This one time, however, the band just decided to play Superstition by Stevie Wonder. Great song, but I didn't know how to play that song, and before I could even turn around to the guys and say, I don't know this one, they just started playing the song. So what am I going to do in that situation? Am I going to stand there awkwardly and not know what to do in front of the crowd who are probably going to look at me like I'm some sort of weirdo? Or am I going to try and figure it out? Well, luckily, like I said, I've been doing this pretty much my whole guitar playing life. I've always chose to try and figure things out as opposed to reading tabs or anything like that. So it really didn't take me long. You know, I was listening to what's the root note? What key is the song in? What sort of scale is it using? These are the things that were going through my mind straight away, and within no time at all, I managed to pick it up. The first time I played that song live on stage, when the song started, I had no idea what I was doing, but at the end of it, I was pretty comfortable. Even managed to throw in a cheeky guitar solo, if I remember rightly. It was a good gig. Now, I've asked my friend Dave, who you might have seen on my YouTube channel a few times now. He's been in a few of my videos, a few of my covers, and he's got an awesome YouTube channel of his own, which he's pretty much just started fairly recently within the past sort of few months. And he's got some awesome videos. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below to where you can check out his channel. But me and Dave have been in a band together for quite a while. He was in that band I was just talking about. And I've asked him to talk about and give his opinion as a professional musician on learning to play by ear as opposed to tabs and sheet music and all that sort of stuff. So let's check out what Dave's got to say.
Hey Rob, thanks for asking me to take part in this video. You've asked for my opinions on learning by tab and learning by ear. I think to start off with, I just want to say I've got nothing against learning by tab. I think it's a great tool, especially for beginners. It tells you where exactly to put your fingers on the fretboard. So for that reason, I think it's a great tool. You don't get that with notation, you don't get that with learning by ear, so absolutely, I've got nothing against tab. However, I always recommend that learning by ear is a skill worth developing. It'll give you much more musical freedom. It'll allow you to learn any song you want without having to rely on finding the tab or a video on YouTube. It'll also develop your musical ear, so you'll be able to listen to music on a deeper level. You'll be able to interact with musicians in a live performance situation much easier. And it'll just generally raise your level of musicianship. If you've never tried learning by ear before, it's often quite difficult to get started with. It seems like a big hill to climb. But what I'd recommend is just do it one note at a time. Try learning the first note and then just check with some tab or a YouTube video to see if you've got it right. And then try the next note and the next note. It'll create like a snowballing effect where it starts slow, but eventually you can just learn whole songs in one go. So I encourage everybody to give it a try really, beginners, intermediate, advanced. It's a worthwhile pursuit. Hope this helps. Over to you, Rob.
Thanks Dave, some really awesome insight there. Like I said, Dave's channel is linked in the description below. Go and check him out, go and subscribe, check out some of his awesome videos. We've worked on quite a few different collaborations here on my channel now, and that leads me on to talk about today's video sponsor, which is DistroKid and their amazing Teams feature. In today's music climate, everybody is collaborating. I'm doing a lot more collaborations, you might have noticed here on my channel. And DistroKid has come up with this awesome new tool which allows you to easily pay your collaborators without the need for an accountant, and that is with their Teams feature. So if you do a collaboration, let's just say me and Dave did a collaboration and we wanted to release that properly on all digital platforms, that's what DistroKid do. With their Teams feature, we could split the revenue on the website without having to get an accountant or try and do that ourselves separately. We can do it all through the website. So that's what their Teams feature does. And there is no limit to the amount of collaborators you can add. You can change the splits at any time, and you can even add and remove collaborators whenever you want. You can even go back in time and see any previous splits, and for privacy reasons, collaborators can't see what each other is getting from that project. They can only see what they get from each collaboration. And if your collaborator or collaborators don't have a DistroKid account, they can sign up for just $10, and them not having an account won't slow down your release. DistroKid will just hold the money to one side until they do. And if you collaborate and never signs up, then you can just easily reallocate their percentage elsewhere, and DistroKid never take a cut. You and your collaborators get 100% of your earnings. So that is their really cool Teams feature, really handy if you're going to do some collaborations with some other musicians and you want to release those collaborations. If you don't yet have a DistroKid account, then click the link in the top of the description for a really cool discount. So as this video is all about the importance of learning by ear, I figured I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration. I'm going to jump on the computer, I'm going to try and find something I've never heard before, something with a melody or a chord progression, anything, and I'm going to try and figure it out on camera like that. And I'm also going to talk about the things that I'm thinking about to help me get there a little bit quicker. So hopefully a little bit of insight which might help people out there who haven't ever really tried this before or not sure how to go about it. We're going to do that now. So let's jump on the computer and try and find some music. So here we go now, I've got my acoustic guitar, and on YouTube, as you can see, I'm actually on YouTube's audio library. And this is a place where you can find copyright-free music to use in your video. I thought that would be a cool thing to do here, so I'm not going to get flagged for any copyright or anything like that. But let's just have a listen to some of these things, and let's just try and find something that I can try and figure out, whether it's a melody or a chord progression. Some of these might not be the right sort of style of music, but you know, we can figure something out. Let's try and find something. So you hit right there, the start of that tune, Lights there, has got a bit of a melody there that I can maybe try and figure out. So let's go back to the beginning of that one. And the first thing I'm going to think about, like I said, I'm going to try and give a little bit of insight to the things that I'm thinking about. And the first thing that's going through my mind is, what key is it in? Is it major or is it minor? And if you really know your major and your minor scales all over the fretboard, that will really help this process. So what key is it in? So straight away, sounds like it's in B flat or A sharp. Is it major or minor? Definitely sounds minor to me, so that's my first thought process within this song. What key is it in? I found out it's in B flat, and it sounds more minor than major. It's got that more darker tone to it, so straight away if I know the minor scale in B minor, then that will really help me figure out the melody. I'm not saying this is exactly what it's going to be, it's just going to put me in the right place on the guitar, in the right area. So now let's go back to that little part there and see if we can figure out those notes. I'm just going to use the B flat minor scale for my reference. Pretty sure I've figured that out already. Let's play that along with the tune, see what it sounds like. second time round, there's an extra note on that second part. Instead of just going, it does. So that's what I've just figured out there. So let's play that again. So let's just try and find another one very quickly. That was a good one, I quite like that one. So that one's called Lights. I might even use that in a future video, you never know. Let's try and find a different style of music, something funky maybe some chords. So I get 4 hits of that first chord that I can listen to. And what is the root note of that chord? I pretty quickly figured out it's F, the F note. So, and it sounds like quite a happy, upbeat sort of chord, that one. So F major is going to be a good guess for that one. Go back to the beginning. And then it goes up, clearly. We clearly hear that it jumps up to a higher chord. It doesn't go down. So what comes after F? We've got G in the musical alphabet. So again, if I could play an F to a G, that sounds too happy, so it's probably going to be a G minor. And then it jumps up even higher than that, which sometimes can be quite hard to tell because you could go to a higher chord, but maybe a lower version of it, especially on a piano. They could just change the notes that they're playing. But for this one, I think I'm going to go to a higher chord. I mean, I've pretty much already figured this chord progression out anyway, and it definitely jumps to another minor chord, I can tell. And this time around, we've got a D minor, or you could play an open chord, D minor. So far, I've figured out we've got F major, G minor, D minor, this song is following a very similar pattern that a lot of other songs do, a very common sort of chord progression. So I was pretty quickly able to figure out that after the D minor, it's going to go to a major chord, but back down again. So this time around, it goes to a B flat major to end on. So I've got F major, G minor, D minor, and then B flat major. So those are the chords that I've got there. This song sounds a lot like Halo by Beyonce. Hope I don't get copyright flagged for that. Pretty sure that's the exact chord progression for that song. Please don't copyright claim me for that. So that was just a quick example of me grabbing the guitar and listening to some music I haven't heard before and just seeing if I can play along with it, seeing if I can jam along with it, find the notes of the melody, find the chord progression, and I think I've done an okay job at that. And obviously the more time you spend doing that, you'll be able to figure things out a lot more, entire songs even. I've just figured out a couple little parts there, but you get the gist of it. So there you go guys, that is today's video. Something I've wanted to talk about for quite a while here on this channel. Something I truly believe is one of the most important things you can do as a musician. If you can just listen to something, grab the guitar, figure it out, and learn it by yourself, just by your ear, you'll be absolutely comfortable in any musical situation as far as I'm concerned. And as Dave said, I fully agree with him. There's nothing wrong with tabs, there's nothing wrong with sheet music. Those are great aids to help you learn things. They tell you where to play things. They don't tell you necessarily, well, sheet music does, but tabs don't tell you how long to hold notes for. They don't tell you the sort of phrasing, they just tell you just the notes to play. So everything has its benefits, but I honestly believe the best thing you can do is learn to play by ear. Then you don't have to rely on anything other than yourself and your ear. And you get far better at it the more you do it. So I really hope that this video has inspired somebody to try it who's never done it before. Literally just put a song on, something that you might want to learn, grab the guitar and just try and figure it out. The notes are there somewhere. Are they low notes? Are they high notes? Is it major? Is it minor? These sorts of things will really help you find the notes that you're looking for a lot quicker, especially if you know your major scales, your minor scales, pentatonic scales, all that sort of thing. If you know your chords, what are the root notes in the chord progressions that you can hear? Can you pick those root notes out? Some of the chords might not even be major or minor chords, they might be extensions like add 9s, minor 7s, something like that. So that's going to take more development in your musical ear, but over time you will be able to develop that. And there's nothing better than just being able to join in with a group of musicians. Even if you don't know the songs that they're playing, you can still join in, you can still grab the guitar and just get involved and play something. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It's something I do feel really strongly about as a guitar player, as a musician, and I really hope it has inspired people. Anyway, once again, I want to thank Dave for his insight on my channel, and I want to thank today's video sponsor DistroKid again for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the top of the description as well to get your discount signing up to DistroKid if you haven't yet and you want to release some projects to some online platforms. Get involved with their Teams feature as well. Check out Dave's channel as well. But if you are new to my channel as well, then please don't forget to subscribe here, click the like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Let's have a discussion, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. So thanks for watching.